moves on.
That never gets old for me.
Yeah.
I love the squirrels. You know, I think there was like I when I got those off of YouTube and they were on some like green screen background to put them in. I think there was like 5 or 6 of them to like choose from, but I picked the ones that had the beat that like totally went with the song. And that's that same song that I got like dinged for on like TikTok.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
I'm sure some corporation put it in something, and now because I remember when Tony did Hack the Living Dead,
yeah,
he had to go in and pull music out of the movie because even though the movie's public domain, if the music's not, it'll get flagged. And so one of them was a public domain song, but it was in an episode of SpongeBob. So Paramount, is that SpongeBob? Yeah,
yeah.
Was like basically had it, auto flag. That's our song. Like it's not your fucking song. That's like corporations get to do whatever they want.
That's like the stupid freaking like It's a Wonderful Life thing, right? I think we went over that on the show. It's like It's a Wonderful Life was in the public domain because the movie was never registered. They didn't extend the copyright on the thing, right?
Yeah.
But like some group, we will just, I think they might have been Korean or Irish or Lebanese. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But they like managed to like get the rights to the like short story that it was built on. That I think it was like in like Reader's Digest or something. And with that, they were able to use it to get the public domain portion of it shut down. But it was nice when it lasted.
We can thank Disney for all that BS copyright stuff.
I think at the time, it was Blockbuster Video or whoever owned the rights to Blockbuster Video in the aftermath that had that one. So,
well, I just mean, so like the extension, like Steamboat Willie just hit the public domain finally because they like made it so they just kept extending what the ownership was until it was like 75 years after death. And every time Steamboat Willie was coming up, they were like, yeah, we lobbying Congress to pass new law. And of course, because we live in a corporatocracy, not a democracy, we ended up, they just did it, which is frustrating. I also am going to caveat this episode by saying that I would not be surprised if I lost power today.
What's going on with that? Are you guys in like a tornado zone again?
It's been raining off and on, and I've got it's been like binging, and then I've been a flash flood. But I think lightning has struck like very close to my house yesterday, or Monday. No, yeah, I guess that was yesterday. Yesterday or today, I guess it was Sunday or today. Sunday, I was sitting on the couch watching TV, and it was like lightning flash, bright enough to see through the stained glass. Usually you just but it was like intensely bright, and then immediate thunder. So I'm pretty sure it was like maybe at the
super
park
close
down the way. And then today it hit just like that again, just a couple of hours ago when it was raining, and now it's starting to rain again. And I'm like, oh.
Were they cloud seeding you like they did in Texas?
It's probably the space lasers. They're probably not able to lock onto me because of my hair.
Well, they did the cloud seeding here, eh?
Yeah.
And that's a legit thing, right? Like the whole that actually is something they do, right? And we're in Paraguay here. They're hosting the like Junior Pan Am Games that are happening this like for the next week or two. And so there's like a whole bunch of like trying to get an Airbnb for this weekend, pretty much impossible. Like it's just, like they're all taken up. And then like they so like last weekend though, like we watched, because like I live in the middle of nowhere. We got a military base near us, but nothing major, right? We're not under a flight path. And we got the crisscrossies going up in the sky, those totally normal contrails that are definitely never ever, if you even once think that they might have something to do with some sort of modification of some sort, you're a crazy person and should be locked in prison, right? Like that's the official story.
Yeah.
But like these things went up, crisscross across the sky, and beautiful blue sky gone, and total like cloudiness that like lingered, and it stayed, and it went for like a downpour for like 3 days. Now, one thing that's about what's interesting about Paraguay is we get a lot of rain, but it's like flash floody rain. It's like 2 hours, like the hardest rain you'll ever see, and then it's gone. But this time, nope. It was like 3 days of full blown rain. And then sure enough, it ended about a day and a half or two before the Junior Pan Am Games started. And now the weather's perfect. It's beautiful blue sky and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it was definitely totally could never be. Those were passenger normal flights that just had condensation
contrails
behind it. Yeah, it absolutely could not ever possibly ever be anything untoward. So shall we kick it off?
Yeah, let's do it.
Uh-oh. Did you prepare a joke?
I did. This week's episode of Here's What I Don't Get is brought to you in part by Indeed.com. Indeed, a place where you can post jobs that don't exist for people to apply so that they slowly go crazy and then wonder why the world has become a hellscape where people want to kill you. Hello, and welcome back to Here's What I Don't Get, from north to south, east to west, the only intercontinental podcast to tackle all of life's toughest issues and the longest consecutively running podcast on the See You Next Tuesday podcast network. I am your host, Ted Burt, coming to you live from the most dangerous city in America, St. Louis, Missouri. And joining me from way down south, it's your favorite uncle. That's right, it's El Chaco.
Oh, let me in, Chata! How's it going? Good. 2 weeks in a row. What are we doing here? Like,
yeah,
we're almost going consecutive. Are we going to go for the record again? Are we gonna...
Yeah, just another 8 years and we'll be right there.
Consecutively running for 8 years. That would be sad, actually, if we're still doing this.
If we're doing this in what would that be, 2033? I don't know. I don't know if I'd be as proud of it anymore.
What would, like, at that point, we would deserve all the like backlash that would come from that. They'd be like, get off the internet. Because think about it that way. If they're 8 years from now, that means that a 5-year-old today would be making fun of us in memes at that point in time, because 13, that's prime meme age. So yeah, man, I'm this close to having these neighbors gone. We got their house practically. We got the corners, we got the roof, we got the bathroom set up, we got the power connected, we got the pipes. Just the only thing left is walls. Just walls. Yeah.
Those people being there.
Yeah. And so they need bricks. And I was like, fine, how much is it going to cost to get the bricks to do this? Right. And it's like, if I got the cheapest bricks, the bricks that are mostly air, how much would it cost? And I got the quote back, and I was like, why didn't I do this earlier? It was like,
oh yeah, it was that cheap.
Yeah. Like, okay. You get what? Let's just say, for ease of calculation, because it's somewhere between 7,000 and 8,000 guaranis per US dollar. So let's just use eight. Right now it's like at 7,500. So let's just use 8 to make it easier. And I got the quote, and the first quote was like 2.8 million guaranis. So it's like, I don't know, it's like $350 US to build 2 homes worth of brick or this thing. I was like,
yeah.
And that's the bad price. That's the bad price. So I got it down to under $300 US yesterday, and we ordered the bricks and they're coming tomorrow. And so my guy, he's like, no, like, well, you could just build one and let the old people move over into there, and then we finish the other one later, and then the other people move. We're like, no. It has to be the same time.
Yeah.
It has to be at the same time, because for them to live over there, I have to pay for the land.
Yeah.
And I have to sign that contract off. And if only the one group go over there and one of them's still here, then I've paid for that other thing and I haven't alleviated my problem. You're about to sneeze.
No, it's gone.
So I'm like, no. There will be none of this like half-seas thing, because I don't want to pay for the land before I've got all the people off of my land.
Yeah.
And that's just not happening. So anyways, that should be coming tomorrow, hopefully. And also too, I was talking about my van and my truck stuff earlier. My guy's dad, he owns some land near here, and he's like open to like trading me for my truck to have
farm truck.
Yeah, for like a piece of land that's 12 meters by 100 meters, and it's right across the street from me. And I'm like, well, that's a no-brainer. Yeah, sure. Yeah. All right, we'll make this work. And
buy a better truck.
I don't even need to, because the truck is only used by my employee who would be buying my truck. So all I'd be doing at that point is like, hey, if you want to do work for me with your truck, let's just get you in with some let's just get you in with a I'll just pay for your diesel.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So yeah, how about yourself? You're getting sniped. I mean, headhunted, and you got stuff. You got pans in the fire.
I had an interview today with a company somewhere else, and got a request to apply for a job here in town. I found out who replaced me in my old job, so I might apply for his old job, and then it would just be a full swap.
Interesting.
That would be staying in St. Louis.
Do you want to stay in St. Louis? Like, is it
only so that when the Civil War breaks out, I can take up arms against all of these people?
Yeah, there you go.
I'll be the inside man, and I will. I'll carry the beacon into Forest Park for them to launch the ICBM into St. Louis to finally wipe it off the map. And of course, I might die. I might die from that. But someone's got to make sure the pinpoint targeting wipes this fucking miserable city off the face of the earth.
I see. This is the funny thing. Like, I don't know. I actually know very little about a lot of the different. About a lot of the different U.S. major cities, because like essentially I know what their stadiums look like.
Yeah,
I of course I know about the arch, right? But what I don't know is like a lot of the history, the climate, the demographics, those kind of things. Like, I go by what my friends who have lived in the U.S. have told me. Like, I had a buddy of mine who went to University of Indiana. So he lived in like Bloomington, and prior to that, he went to like a private high school in like Michigan. So I know a little bit about those two areas. And I remember when he would talk about it, like he used to actually, like, they would go to Chicago from time to time, because like I guess Bloomington's close enough to Chicago. He didn't say much kind things about Indianapolis, but he liked He would go to Chicago sometimes. He said I would like Chicago. I don't think he's telling the truth, or maybe I would have liked it maybe like 25 years ago, maybe
even longer. Yeah.
He used to love Cincinnati. He used to talk about Cincinnati. He loved the Natty. And I was like, okay, all right. And so I used to always in the back of my head think like, oh, maybe the Natty's all right. No, it sucks apparently, because the it sucks apparently because like if you go to like a jazz festival or something like that, you might get like beaten up, and then blamed for it by like the old woman who's the chief of police, right?
Well, the most amazing thing in basically ever to happen on television was that woman getting beaten and then going up on television and being like, yeah, I was beaten by a bunch of black guys and it was awful. And like this city has a crime problem, and not just like Austin Metcalf's dad immediately being like, I forgive you. We have forgiveness.
Oh,
like
they have a problem.
Whoa. We have not seen that in, I mean, forever. It's always the victims punishing themselves. That was a
win. Yeah, well, that's the thing is like it's funny because you think to yourself like, I don't know, it's a demographic thing. I don't know, like that doesn't sound fair. Like that lady, I saw the violence, and you know, like there's no excuse for that. And that's a demographic thing. So fuck the Cincinnati Reds and the Cincinnati Bengals. What do you think about like one of the ones that I always thought on my burner, like that would be a cool place to live, would be like Pittsburgh? Am I off?
Yeah. I would love to move to Pittsburgh. That's where my grandfather was from, Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah.
No, Pittsburgh looks great.
Yeah. Horseshoe Curve. I've looked at some stuff in Pittsburgh. I wouldn't mind going to Pittsburgh, although Pennsylvania is kind of fucked as far as taxes go for a state. But yeah, this weekend we had our annual, my friend's annual float trip. You know, get some canoes and kayaks, float down the river, drink beers.
Was it good?
It was great. We were on the river for quite a while, and this year I remembered that I have this like little small. It's a tabletop grill. So like when you go to one of those state parks that has the concrete picnic table, you just set it on there and grill it. You can do like, I don't know, you could probably do
I like those.
Yeah, 6 burgers on it maybe.
Yeah.
So I grilled up some hot dogs. You know, we just made hot dogs like on the river. And that was pretty fun. I haven't used that thing in like 5+ years because after I got that, we took it to the lake a few times, you know, and grilled some burgers while we were swimming. And then I got a Blackstone, which is a way better cooking surface and way higher heat. And it was also, you know, portable enough to fit in the back of the car. And so I don't know why I didn't get rid of that grill, but it was down in the basement. And I was like, let's try that. That might be fun. And everyone was like, yeah, this was a great idea. So then I'm on my way home from, I rode with a friend on the way home from the river. It's about an hour and a half away from St. Louis. And another friend of mine is like, hey, you want to go over to this movie theater here in town that shows old 35 millimeter screenings of movies? They're showing this movie.
What movie?
I'll tell you in a second.
All right.
And I was like, yeah, sure. But you'll have to pick me up because I've been drinking all day. And also, you know, like I will get home at 8:45. The movie's at 9:15. So it'll be like, I know you have to like change clothes real quick and then we'll run. So I went and saw what I think might be the worst movie ever made. Worst movie ever that I've ever seen. I hated it almost start to finish. It's probably going to be controversial. Raising Arizona.
You done fucked up. You done fucked up.
I thought you liked Raising Arizona.
Yeah, you done fucked up.
Oh,
yeah.
God, that was a piece of shit.
Oh, do you have to understand? Like, I literally grew this mustache because of Raising Arizona. No, I'm just joking. But no, man, that movie's, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't hold up. I've seen it a bunch of times, but you know, like
it opens with
he's got to get the Huggies.
It opens with 20 minutes of exposition that didn't need to be there. And then it ends with another 10 minutes of exposition, just voiceover fucking first rule of filmmaking: show don't tell. It was.
Do you like any Coen Brothers movies?
I don't think so. I don't think I do. I think it's a miracle that they made 2 watchable films in Oh Brother Where Art Thou and The Lady Killers. I was actually thinking about coming home and just throwing The Lady Killers right in the trash.
Wait, so you don't like No Country?
No. They make movies about nothing. They're just Raising Arizona is a movie about nothing. No
Country is not about nothing. and
the thing that bothered me about No Country for Old Men is like in one sentence, Tommy Lee Jones is like, there's the thing they used to kill cattle. This is like a cattle prod thing. And I wonder how they opened this door with this perfectly round hole. And I was like, what is happening? I don't know. I found the whole thing off-putting. Yeah, Raising Arizona, I was like, the way that movie should have opened instead of with this long voiceover is you show Nicolas Cage getting out of prison.
Yeah, and he keeps going back in. It's funny.
Yeah. But there's a lot of talking that doesn't need to be there. Show, don't tell, right? He gets out of prison. He walks out of the prison gates. He gets on a bus. The bus takes him to downtown. Who gives a fuck? He walks immediately into the police station and gets down on one knee and asks, "What's her name?" to Holly Hunter to marry him.
Yeah,
that's a funny opening.
It is.
That shows the juxtaposition of him being a career criminal
and she being a career cop,
and that they're like an odd couple without me having to sit and listen with him telling this fucking story for 20 minutes.
The thing is that the comedy comes from the fact that he is the narrator and he's a dipshit.
The comedy comes from another movie because I did not laugh once. I understood that they were setting up jokes and there was supposed to be humor. Also, this was extremely fucking irritating. There were people on the end of the row quoting the fucking movie while they're watching it. And I was like, I want to fucking open fire into this crowd.
Unpainted Arizona, like it's where you get your best unpainted furniture from. And no, does nothing for you. It's a funny movie. I always liked it. I remember it. I love
how funny queer.
I love the Huggies, like the Huggy sequence with the not like just like how shitty of a crook he is, and like that John Goodman's great in that one too.
Inarguably the best part of the movie because something is actually starting to happen, and then they just kind of end up back in the same spot they were, which is I can't fucking stand that John Steinbeck style of storytelling where nobody learns anything. The two guys break out of jail. Then they go back to jail.
Yeah, fair enough.
Nobody learned or grew. There's nothing.
Okay.
The funniest part of the movie was the fact that they have 5 kids. One of them's named Nathan Jr., and the others are Harry, Larry, Gary, and Barry. So, but then when they bring the baby back, I guess they couldn't get the other 4 kids on that day, so there's no kids in the bedroom, and the wife is gone because they couldn't pay her. But we had to have this long, fucking tedious scene of them talking, and then again the ending where it's like, he talks about this dream he has that goes on for fucking ever, and then he's like, was it a dream? I don't know. Whereas again, show don't tell. You show them laying down. He falls asleep. You see them all grow old. Was this a dream? Is it not a dream? We could talk about that. We have a conversation about what's going on in the movie. But he specifically is like having a dream and fantasizing. It's not what actually happens.
I'm trying to think, like, because like I know with my take on the Coens is I like most of their movies, but not all of their movies.
Yeah.
Okay. So Raising Arizona, I always enjoy, but I guess maybe it's set and setting when I saw it, what age I was, like that might have a factor into it. Fact that I saw it with my parents, like, I don't know. And I remember my dad laughing his ass off at it. So maybe that had something to do with it. Barton Fink was okay, but I didn't really feel like going back and watching it again. I never saw Blood Simple. I love The Big Lebowski. I know you don't like it. I never saw The Hudsucker Proxy. I have seen. Okay, did they do The Quiet Man? That was okay. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? That was great. The Lady Killers, I have to rewatch because I don't remember liking it, but at the same time, I don't think it was one of those I sat down and it was probably like I saw it at like a house party or something.
Yeah.
I love No Country for Old Men. I love Fargo, and what else? Burn After Reading I thought was hilarious. I love
I don't
Burn
even
After
think I
Reading.
finished Burn After Reading. I hated it so much.
Okay, all right.
So
let's say
the only funny part in Burn After Reading is when Brad Pitt gets punched in the face.
Let's say you inherit an old movie theater. Okay, you have let's say you have the ability to have either a kitchen or some sort of snack area or something like that. You get to renovate it. And what would be your opening movie to open up this retro movie theater? And what would you sell with it? What would be your hook? What would be your thing? What would make that a good experience, not just for you, but you believe you'd have confidence that the crowd would like it?
It'd either be Terminator 2, an old 35 millimeter print of Terminator 2.
Yeah.
And you have like a contest for people to do their best Arnold impressions, and you give that person like a year of free tickets.
Now, is it just popcorn?
Yeah. I don't like the full eating of food in the, like popcorn, candy, regular concessions.
Licorice, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, what about okay. Do you serve beer at this?
Yes.
All right.
Neon Ghost is correct. The movie would also
Rhinestone.
be Rhinestone would be a contender, or like a classic horror film, like open in October and show the original Halloween.
Okay, so what? Okay, so you've seen more horror films than me, but what horror film would you open with?
Maybe Scream. Because that like the original Scream, it like was dissecting the genre, the slasher genre, but
not
then
a bad choice.
Also elevated it, and it's got like that meta movie, aware of itself being a movie thing going on.
I like that.
I think
that's a good choice.
A good tone for a movie theater to have.
In that same sort of way, I'd be okay with Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, did you care for that? We watched it and did a commentary, and I just did not like it.
I liked it. I actually, okay. I saw that when my son was right after my son was born. The first time we got a babysitter to stay in with the baby, my wife and I got to go to the movie theater, and that's the movie we saw, and I loved it. But again, it could have been because I needed to get away for a night, or whatever. But I like that, and actually, there's a sequence in it towards the end. I don't want to spoil it because it actually is pretty good. I liked it. But like they're just out of nowhere, they bust out like an REO Speedwagon song, Roll with the Changes.
Yeah.
And I love that song partially because of that movie. And I am this close to changing the Tio Chaco entrance song to that particular song because I feel like it's 80s enough. I got the mustache now. I think it's dorky enough, but at the same time, it'll get you amped because just the way it plays off. So check that one out. After is the song "Roll with the Changes" and try to picture when you would come out of the curtain, because like right when the first line hits, I'm like, boom, that's when you come out, and that's where my mind goes with it. But so you'd pick Scream. I'd either go with Cabin in the Woods. Maybe go with An American Werewolf in London. Or The Thing. Like one that actually scares me. So maybe
the John Carpenter thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also something like Terminator or Scream would be in the tone of what I would want a movie theater to be, as opposed to something like The Thing or American Werewolf in London. Like I want to get that Gen X teenage 90s summer feeling.
Yeah.
Because as everyone knows, I fucking hate boomers.
Well, okay. Here's what I would do then. Yeah. Oh well, it's back to the Terminator thing. So I was having this conversation with my wife, and I was saying to her, I'm like, okay, so my son's 13 now, and I was like 12 when I saw T2. I think I was like 12.
I was like 6.
But like, because like he's past the age of like getting scared at like nonsense.
Yeah.
And so, but okay, so I have this question to ask you. If I want to show him T2, must he watch Terminator 1 first?
I mean, I think you get away with not doing it, but it does make the movie more satisfying to see the first one.
Okay, but the first one has Linda Hamilton's boobs, and I don't like
So
really
you just
sit and
cover the screen when you get to that scene, or skip ahead.
I don't
See
know
if
when
you-
it
see if
happened.
you
I haven't
find-
watched the movie in 30 years.
See if you can find the Mormon version. I'll download a copy and edit it for you and send it to you, and just like
Made
black
for
out the
TV.
screen. Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you this though. The first one actually scared me.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
second one did not.
Yeah. The first one's a horror film. The second one's an action film.
Second one's so good though.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, you're right. Like on the like generational thing, it's like who's got money to go to the movie theater? Because I would love to do like a theatrical version of Star Wars, so non-special edition version of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Do a marathon. See, the problem is that like boomer movies are mostly better than our movies. It's it's just true. It's just true. Like because they had Star Wars. That wasn't us. That was them. They had Rocky. Like most of the better Rocky movies were their movies, not ours.
Rocky 4.
Okay, Rocky 4 is that's you're right. Rocky 4 is awesome. And it's late 80s though, right? That's late 80s.
Yeah.
So again, that's my generation. And Gen Z would call us boomers just because they don't know how generations work. And I would say, Rocky, like we watched Rocky 3 recently. Have you seen that
Clubber
one?
Lang
And Thunder Lips. Let's like, do we have to do the 10 bell salute again?
Yeah.
Then
Clubber Lang's the villain.
Thunder Lips is like a big deal. Oh yeah. It's a Wonderful Life on repeat 24/7. That's a great way to go. Another one this year saying never watched all of the Terminator movies. All 2 of them?
Yeah, just watch the 2 and then
Just 2 of them. Yeah, the rest of them don't count. What about Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2? Do you like those?
I watched them. I watched them this year, and I was like, okay, those are movies that I watched.
First one I always found scarier than the second one. The second one's just the first one, just redone with better budget. And then you got Army of Darkness, which is like one that everybody pretends to like, but is actually not a good movie.
It does have that great meme in it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But it's like one of those ones like you're nostalgic for, but then you actually watch it, I'm like, it was totally like one of those ones where when it was on VHS, you'd rent it and you'd be like, nobody got all the way through it because it gets freaking boring.
Yeah.
It gets really boring, that movie. It does not hold up.
Yeah.
Whereas like
it has a killer opening, and then it does just like slump way in the middle, and the ending is just, just kind of happens.
It has its like funny moments, but like they're so stretched out in between, right?
It's one of those party movies where you put it on and you like watch the thing and you laugh, and then you go and you're like, talking about this or that, and you're like, oh wait, no, this is a great scene. And, ha, ha, ha.
It's a second screen movie before second screen movies were a thing.
Yeah.
And then, you know what we watched the other night with the kids was Napoleon Dynamite. I hadn't watched that one since it was in the theater.
I watched that in middle school because everyone was talking about it, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with everyone that I know?
Thought it was funny. Dance sequence is great.
The only funny part of the movie is when he has all those tater tots in his pocket and the guy kicks his pocket. Actually, no, there are two. The one time that I actually like laughed out loud watching it was when the one guy has his van on top of that piece of Tupperware and then it collapses and he just drives away.
Yeah, Kip. And come on, man, Kip's hilarious. Like,
I don't know who that is.
That's the brother. That's the nerdy brother who has LaFonda, the black chick that he met in his chat rooms because he's talking to chicks online all day, and then like. Yeah, no, Uncle Rico's funny. What's the line where like the girl's coming to the door and she's selling like bracelets and like glamour shots so she could save up for college, and then like the line that makes her run away, like humiliated, is when Kip, who's inside, says, "Your mom went to college," and for whatever reason, that one line and everything just like. I don't know. It just, but when I saw that movie,
it's almost funny when you say it, but in the context of the film, it's just.
Yes, vote for Pedro. No, it's funny, man. Like there's a lot going on in that movie. Like the bully character, like the popular kids and like the faces that they make and stuff, and like that it's Haley Duff, like Hillary Duff's older sister, playing like Summer. It's a good movie. It's funny. The guy who wrote it apparently is the guy who wrote he did Minecraft movie recently, but what was another movie he'd done recently? He's kind of, that's now his niche thing.
That might have been like having a major contributing factor to me not seeing the Minecraft movie.
The Minecraft movie was all right. For me it was like, I don't take my kids to movies much. They really were interested in that one. I laughed enough in it to feel like I got my money's worth, but it wasn't one of those ones. What's that?
The writer of
oh, that's right. Yeah, it was Nacho Libre. Yeah,
Nacho Libre, Don Verdean. I haven't seen any other movies by him, but those are Don Verdean is a Sam Rockwell movie. I love Sam Rockwell, and Don Verdean is a piece of crap. Sam Rockwell, the only movie I can think of that I didn't like that I saw him in was their version of A Hitchhiker's Guide. Yeah.
That one was a giant letdown.
I like that one because I hadn't read the books or watched the BBC series or anything, but now in hindsight, not good.
Oh, it's the worst of the worst. Like the BBC series was better. The BBC radio series was infinitely better.
Yeah.
The books are incredible. I think every person I know with a decently good sense of humor, like funny person, has read the Hitchhiker's Guide books at some point in their life. Yes, you're right. Nacho Libre is garbage. Neon Ghost, it is garbage. As a wrestling fan, it's garbage. As a Catholic, it's garbage. I don't like that movie at all. I wanted to like it.
It's garbage.
Yeah, I wanted to like it, but it was terrible. It was one of the. Actually, I don't even think I finished it. I think it was one of those. Like I actually shut it off.
I saw it in theaters.
Ooh,
yeah, with group of friends in high school.
I don't know. It's low on my list for wrestling.
This is becoming like two old men talk about movies that they like and dislike.
Yeah, that's why that's why people subscribe. Yeah. Should we get into 40 minutes into this? Should we get into an issue?
Yeah, probably.
All right. Here's what I don't get. Reconciliation. Do you know what I mean by this?
Trying to make up for your horrible deeds that you didn't do, but you've been blamed for no reason.
So they say. Yeah. No, you had brought up reparations, I believe, on a previous episode. Am I correct? Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
So in Canada, because we didn't have slavery, we can't call it reparations because that would be, that's their word, right? That's their word. So we got reconciliation. So it's this idea, we can do this crap, this land acknowledgement crap. Are you familiar with this? Where before like a hockey game, they have to tell you like just to acknowledge that you are living on native lands, and it's like, okay, but what does that mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you want me to do with that information?
Conquered,
you were on stolen. It. You're not on it now. That's not how this shit works.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. If that is the way this shit worked, then Italians could be claiming back all the shit that the Roman Empire had at one point in time. Do you understand what we're talking about? Like, they do this thing where like you're on like stolen lands. Like, okay, define stolen versus conquered.
Conquered.
Yeah. You didn't have ownership. You didn't tend to it. You didn't discover agriculture. You didn't know how to farm. You didn't know how to fucking plant anything. You just moved around.
I mean, some of them were agricultural societies.
No.
But they didn't. No. They hadn't invented technology in any appreciable sense.
Which ones were agriculture? They didn't know how to plant shit.
I mean, they did some amount of planting.
Not in Canada, not the Canadian ones.
Oh yeah, because you guys were largely wilderness. I'm thinking of like the American Indian.
Okay, if we're gonna talk about like the Aztecs and the Incas or something, yeah, that's different.
The entire people who were here before Columbus.
Right, but the thing is that they themselves had their own little fiefdoms and their own little
they were
groups.
Constantly conquering who got this little land,
and the badass ones had the better land, and the weaker ones had Canada.
I mean, no, that is probably true. Like as you lost, you got driven into the desert,
the cold and the crappy and the But like, so I don't know if you've heard about this story, but there was a massive ruling in the BC Supreme Court like last week. Did you hear about this?
I did not.
Okay, my wife, she grew up most of her life in Richmond, BC, which is like just outside of Vancouver. It's like part of the metropolitan Vancouver area, and it's where the airport is. And there was this legal case. And here it comes. And there was this legal case, and the BC Supreme Court female judge ruled in favor of these different nations of Aboriginals.
I love that they call them First Nations in Canada, when they had no borders, they had no sovereignty, they had no structured government or written language.
Well, but here's the beauty of that, because they claim that. So this area in Richmond, like for like, I don't know, a couple of fucking weeks of summer, they would come into this area and fish it and then leave. And then they went and they made this pitch with their, I don't know, maybe he's Lebanese, maybe he's Italian, maybe he's Korean, maybe he's Irish, maybe he's from Laos.
Belgian.
Their lawyer, it's Rosenberg, but I think that's Lebanese. But their lawyer that pushed for this, they won. And get what happens. This giant chunk of land in Richmond, in like a populated area, like a developed area, all the land titles are now null and void. We're talking hundreds of condos. We're talking multi-million-dollar homes, mansions, a fucking Amazon warehouse, like distribution area, an IKEA one, a couple of car dealerships, a golf course. All of these things just got ceded over, and they're like, we have to figure this out. It's going to take about 18 months to unwind this, but essentially what we're telling you is, that like title for the land that you bought legally is null and void.
And so it's not like
it's now owned by the Cowichan and the fucking these different 7 different groups who went in on this thing, all because they say that through their oral tradition, they say we used to fish here.
You know what that sounds like?
Fuck you, man. Like, that's a fucking act of war. I'm sorry.
It sounds like land being stolen.
It's full-blown fucking stealing land. It's
like
this is an abomination of justice, and it's an act of fucking war. Like, that is an act of fucking war. At least with your reparations argument. It's like, fuck, we just print more money. Fuck, we just give more EBT stamps. You are fucking stealing legally paid for land. Your claim goes back to 1840s. Fuck you. Not a single fucking one of you. Not a single fucking one of you was there. You're going off of an oral tradition, which could have included lies and bullshit along the way.
Yeah.
And fuck this judge, and fuck that lawyer, and fuck the province of British Columbia. Because this sets a precedent that's going to fuck some shit up in Canada, something pretty fucking fierce. And the BC government, they're like, we're going to appeal this. Fuck you! Fuck you! This is your fucking fault. It's your fucking fault. Every time you fucking do a land acknowledgement, every fucking time you close us off from being able to look at underneath these residential schools at these quote unquote mass graves, every fucking time that you rename a real street that people really live on to some bullshit made up language word with X's and stars and fucking shapes and circles in it that nobody can pronounce. It's your fault. This is treason, and the penalty for treason is you know what.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing how, we talk about the slippery slope as it's a logical fallacy. It's bad. And it's like, no, it's actually dead on every single fucking time. As soon as, like, what happened, you brought in a long time ago squatters' rights as a don't get, but like the intention of squatters' rights is something like this, where let's say that the land is stolen. Let's give into the claim
of stealing.
Well, just for the sake of argument, right? This land belonged to all the Star Wars Indian tribes in Canada, and a bunch of white people came in and squatted on it. But then you know what they did with it? They didn't just, build some favela shit house and burn their trash. They built a civilization. They built cities and condos and commerce
and
parks
and warehouses.
And like they created a thing. They made if you want to argue that cities are bad, sure, you can make that argument, but they improved the land. They created something there that wasn't there before. So even if you have some ancestral claim to the open wide space because 200 years ago, 400 years ago, you used to wander through here and fish. You didn't fucking do anything with it.
You wandered through and fished. It's called fucking crown lands.
And
you know what I mean?
There's a lot of precedent for, you buy a rust bucket car, you find some like abandoned rust bucket car, and you can file for a lost title and put it back together, and then it's now your car.
Yeah.
It's our land. We didn't steal it from them. We didn't come in the dead of night and scoot them away.
They worked out a fucking deal. You get land, we give you money. You stay on that land, or you come off, and when you come off, you don't get the money anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Fucking deal. $3.6 billion in tax dollars have gone to those groups since $3.6 billion. There's not that many people in those groups.
Yeah.
Most of it gets eaten up by their chiefs. Most of it doesn't trickle down to their own people.
It's short-sighted spend. It's the same mentality that 200 years ago, and we're like, yeah, we'll give you 20 pounds of gold for all this land. And then they were like, cool. And they went out and bought guns to go pick a fight with the neighboring Indian tribe.
Yep.
It's that same kind of short-sighted spending. So sometimes
it's like the idiot neighbors.
Yeah.
Right? Like their family sold the land. The guy who then sold it to me, and they didn't leave. It's like, do you understand how private property works? You don't. I'm sorry. We can't live together in a society. If you don't understand what fucking private property work is, if you do this Indian giving thing, and yes, I said it, Indian giving thing, there's a reason that was a stereotype, because you give a thing and you expect it back, but you just have this kind of this thing. Yes, they still have chiefs.
Yeah, they still have chiefs.
Yeah. You're telling me that you do not understand the concept. You didn't have private property then. You didn't stake it out. You didn't fucking fortify it. You didn't fucking develop it. You didn't do anything with it. And now you have the audacity to take it to court, and then that stupid fucking court, just made a nuclear bomb happen.
Yeah.
In Canada. This is the worst precedent-setting thing that has ever happened in Canada.
It's also reconciliation it's a lie, because reconciliation, like say we're neighbors, right? And my kids are out playing in the front yard and they zip a baseball through your window, and I come over there and I'm like, man, I'm so sorry. We'll call a window guy out here and we'll get that fixed. Or you call a window guy and just leave a bill on the, the front porch and I'll Venmo you, right? That's reconciliation. You were damaged and then you get made whole. Mm-hmm. Reconciliation doesn't work. Reparations don't work, because we've done all of the things. We've tried to apologize. You've gotten the money. You don't want that. It'll never be enough. So
no,
they get all this land, and then it'll be
for Gibbs.
It'll be the next city will be like, oh yeah, and our oral tradition also said that if automobiles were invented, that they all belong to us as well. Like, okay, I guess so.
But that's why are we doing this self-deletion thing?
Yes.
Like this
what happened? How?
This white lady judge. What are you thinking, Sandra? What are you thinking? What did you go through? Did you find some fucking arrowheads that washed up on the fucking beach, that washed up onto the banks of the river that it goes on next to? The fuck are you thinking? What, you're just gonna go by their word on an oral tradition? Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You fish there every summer. Does that mean every time I went out to go and fish on a fucking lake, I go, yeah, it's my lake now? What? My ancestors did it.
I call this lake.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. And yeah. This is insane. Like, we're talking multi-billions of dollars of people, and they're like, don't worry, it hasn't, like, we haven't taken away your title yet. It just means you can't fucking sell it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't sell it. Who's gonna buy it from you? Who's gonna buy it from you? Who's gonna lease it from you when you don't know if it's a thing anymore? They just said your fee simple land title is no longer a thing. That is such a legal overstep. That is a we need, like, the judge needs to be
hanging with the gal at the Lowe's.
Yeah, that's my issue.
It's a great issue, and it's insane. Going back and delving into our culture to figure out how we got convinced to hate ourselves and our ancestors' accomplishments.
You know why and who and how.
In the last 60 to 80 years.
Yeah.
And to the point where we are basically running ourselves into self-destruction and stabbing our neighbor in the back in order to feel better about something that, like, we're simultaneously responsible for all of our ancestors' terrible acts, but also not allowed to take any pride in the good ones, which is a crazy dichotomy to live in. It's a lot like when you go see any big group of black people talking, and they talk about black excellence and how everything black people do is excellence, but then they, like, in the same sentence will pivot to be about how they're marginalized and underprivileged and held down by the system. It's like those two concepts are counter to one another. Either either I'm responsible for all of my ancestors' actions, in which case you're welcome. We brought you out of the Stone Age. We brought a civilization from Europe to America and built a country the likes of which has never existed, and even Canada and Mexico, with democratic representation. The one person, one voice bullshit.
Yeah.
A
mistake.
It was a mistake. You're welcome. We're fucking great. The pros way outweigh the cons, or I can't be proud of any of that, in which case I disavow it all and you guys don't get democracy. Fuck you.
Well, it begs the question sometimes if the Americas were a ticking time bomb right from the get-go, because you left behind Europe, right, to go and settle it up. And so you have this mindset of progress. Like we're going to evolve. We're going to become better than we were. And we're going to unburden ourselves from our old world thinking and dash away our traditions, and everything new is better. And it's not. And the thing is that as soon as, like, we're at this stage now where people are starting to look at traditions differently than they did even 20 years ago, because before you'd look at the future and you'd be like, the future is going to be awesome. We're going to have flying cars. We're going to have AI, and we're going to have, all this cool stuff, and like hunger is going to go away, and poverty is going to go away, and automation of all these kind of things. And then you get here and you're like, it fucking sucks. Everything sucks. Like, there's not lots to look forward to. And the only thing that is awesome is old stuff. Yeah. Old movies, old buildings, old art, old music. Everything old is better. And at a certain point you go, wait a minute, hang on. Like, maybe we shouldn't have crapped on our elders this whole time. And I get your thing about the boomers, but I think in the grand scheme of things, like, we should probably stop crapping on every one of our old generations that got us to this point. Maybe you look at the mistakes they made, try not to repeat them. That's important. But I think in the grand scheme of things, I think that there were traditions that we lost along the way. And it goes with that whole thing of this self-hatred of, all white people were bad, or all the colonizers were bad, all the founding fathers were bad. Let's tear down this statue. Let's do all this other stuff. And it's like, no, you know what? I think actually they might have been kind of awesome because they got us here, and maybe they were awesome because everything would suck if they didn't do what they did.
I think they're awesome because I think they saw that this was going to happen. And
they tried to warn us.
They tried to warn us and create a system that would counter against it. And a lot of people got themselves involved in the system in the 60s and started actively campaigning into creating a worse world. I watched so Jim Lovell died this week.
Who?
He was the mission commander for Apollo 13 and Apollo 8 and Gemini 8 and 12, I think.
Okay.
And so Apollo 8, was the first Apollo mission that orbited the moon, and then Apollo 13, of course, is the one where
where Stanley Kubrick. No, okay, yeah,
they exploded and had to fly their asses back and like kludge together a bunch of shit. But so the actual guy died. He was like 97.
Okay,
like that. At the time in April 1970 on Apollo 13, he had the most hours in space of any man. Right.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And so I was watching Apollo 13, and there's a scene where they're talking about, because they didn't broadcast the Apollo 13 telecast onto TV because going to the moon's like a regular thing now. We had gone 2 other times.
Sure, we did.
But also in that movie, they talk about like how is this money good? How is this? When we have starving kids in Africa or something along those lines.
Oh, I've seen some placards and stuff. Yeah.
There's some senator touring the vehicle assembly building, and he's just like, "This is a huge waste of my constituents' tax dollars." And I was just like, that guy. What they should have done in that moment is just push that guy out of the fucking vehicle assembly building and just like, yep, Toxic empathy is not going to take hold. We're not fucking allowing it. Like, you got to travel back in time to the 60s, and all those fucking Saul Alinsky who have become champagne socialist people who weaponized our caring about others to basically shackle us to the ground.
Well, it's the
they've
mind virus that attacked the high trust society.
Yeah.
It's like this idea that like we have to like legislate these things for the people that aren't high trust society people, that are built differently, think differently, act differently, have different software and different hardware. And the sad part about it is that we need to do these things because the system was not just us anymore.
Yeah. We're morally responsible for the success of every human being on earth now, and not just the success of ourselves and our posterity.
Yeah.
And all it's done is, as the shit has bubbled up around us, we used to build rafts to float on top of the shit and then try and build a society away from it. But we've just allowed the shit to build up, and while we nobly hold ourselves down to the bottom until we're going to drown. The moment is
you're
coming.
close. And I think people see it. And I think that's why, I don't know, okay. So for example, in the Catholic sphere, more people are going to the Latin Mass, like to traditional Latin Mass, because they look at the like Novus Ordo thing and they're like, all right, like we're done with the polyester ponchos on the priests and the guitar mass, with the folk, like the boomer 60s and 70s songs. Like, it's just not working for us. And we got to go back to the thing that got us here. And the reconciliation thing, it's like, it's never going to end because it's never good enough.
Yeah.
It's never good enough. It's never good enough. You got how many, like, decades and decades and decades of living for free off of other people's labor for free. For free. You had education paid for, you had infrastructure paid for, and you ruined. And like, for free. So how much longer? Okay. So now beyond all that, after we've been paying for that the whole time, you're just going to go and fucking take back. You're going to take land, like titles away from people who, and the thing about the Richmond is it's heavily Chinese. I'm wondering what the Chinese are going to think about this. Right. I'm really interested to find out. Or did they choose an area that's demographically not going to be a problem politically, because it's going to be the people that you can do this to with no problems. I don't know.
Can you imagine, right? If so last year the Chiefs won the Super Bowl again.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Did they?
I think so. Yeah, because the Eagles won. They absolutely destroyed the Chiefs.
Oh, good. I guess. I don't know. I kind of hate football. Yeah. Yeah.
But so the Eagles won. They was a total blowout against the Chiefs. The New York Giants, the Cleveland Browns, and the Tennessee Titans were tied for the worst record in the NFL during the 2024 season, each finishing with 3-14. And so imagine right now, that's no good. We have to have equal outcomes. So they take the Eagles and they all right, we're gonna shave some points out of your season to give down to these other teams so that they can maybe get a couple of W's in there. Or you won the Super Bowl, so we're actually all three of these teams that we're gonna say that they beat you during the season, so they feel.
We're gonna give them. You're gonna have to give them your rings.
Yeah,
so now have to give them your rings.
Now they're 4-14, but you guys are still the Super Bowl champs. No big deal. And like nobody would, people would burn cities to the ground. But because our nations are doing it, it's like, yeah, it's fine. We owe them this because we won the Super Bowl of geopolitical campaigns in pioneering, humanity across the globe. Oops. No, fuck you. It would never stand. It's a ridiculous analogy to think about it as football, and it's even more ridiculous because you're taking away people's livelihoods to prop up people whose own ancestors fucking sucked. If your ancestors didn't fucking suck, you would have built a country here. You wouldn't just been a bunch of fucking nomads growing some corn in the Stone Age. You're welcome. You're welcome. We brought you society. welcome to it. It's time to start paying your own fucking fair share.
I think about these families like it was like townhouses and like condos, and it's like I know that area. There's not a lot of places you can own. There's just not a lot of places. You're not going to get a standalone house unless you have like $2 million, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of place it is. So this would have been young families, and this would have been their places, and then it just got janked from them, and it's just like,
why aren't
I get it.
And Gen Z
I get it that it was done dumbly, and that there's been some raw deals for the First Nations people there in some ways. And yes, in some ways there's been some screw overs. There has been, because the thing that a lot of people don't factor in is that like all these settlements and blah blah blah, it goes to their chiefs, and their chiefs just jank it, and like the people get nothing, and they it's a broken thing. But you're throwing, it's that whole thing of like, you go to you go to a national park and it's like, don't feed the animals. Yeah. I'm not calling them animals. I'm just saying the reasoning behind not feeding the animals is so that they still know how to hunt, and they still know how to like get their own food. And if you give them food like that, they're going to become dependent on you. And that's what we've done for multiple generations. And it's totally screwed up everything for everybody. That's my issue. What pisses me off too is they call it truth and reconciliation when they were talking about the stuff with like the residential schools. And it's like, you're not giving us truth, and nothing's getting reconciled. You're still going to have a fucking chip on your shoulder.
That is so, that kind of phrasing is so.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's a Alinskyite shit.
It's Alinsky. Totally, I was trying to think of the guy.
Alinskyite.
Yeah.
So that's my issue.
Accuse your enemy of that which you are guilty. That's a good one.
Yep.
Well, that brings us to the middle of our show, which means it's time for the Reparation News Network. We're going to give you the news because you didn't get enough news in the past, so now we're giving you some new news. Reparation News Network.
All right. Let's see. 4 men eat beans with toothpicks to break world record. Serial Guinness World Record holder David Rush teamed up with fellow YouTuber Josh Horton and his crew to eat baked beans with toothpicks. Rush, Horton, and 2 members of Horton's crew took on the record for the most baked beans eaten with a toothpick in 3 minutes by a team of 4. See, like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Who was the old one? And did anyone care? No.
Yeah.
Stop.
Stop. What are we doing?
We need a new guy that I want to run for like president of Guinness and just be like, yeah, hey, we got a new world record. Like, what is it? We got 4 guys. Like, okay, and we're eating beans with toothpicks. Like, yeah. Stop fucking calling here.
Don't leave me alone. Like, it's like the number to beat was 429. And the team managed to devour 559 beans in the allotted time, handily taking the record. What is this record? Dude, when I was a kid, if I got like the Guinness Book of World Records book and it had this kind of shitty records in it, like they would never sell. Nobody would care. I want to see the 2 fat twins. I want to see a picture of what was the guy's name? The really tall guy. Oh, he was like 8 feet something tall. Oh, he's ridiculous. Like, he's dead now,
man. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's what I want to see.
Well, I think the thing
beans
is
eaten by YouTubers
in order to stay relevant, because there's no way they've run out of all of the, you're only going to get like one Usain Bolt every 10 years who, manages to shave a 15th of a millisecond off of the time of the last guy to do the 500-yard dash. So they're just like, in order to keep maintaining things, they're just like, we got world record for most consecutive episodes of a podcast. There you go.
In the See You Next Tuesday network.
It's just like, here. Remember the Guinness Book of World Records? Don't you want to buy that shiny lenticular book? Dolly Parton just got one, like, for being an icon. She just got it because she has a lot of Guinness World Records. It's like, neat.
What records does she have?
I don't know, but apparently she's got a shitload of them because I saw a thing where she's like, they have all those little placards of her records, and then they're like, and we're declaring you officially an icon. It's like, well, it's about fucking time.
I will say this, like, so I'm one of those dipshits who pays for YouTube Premium, so I get YouTube Music, and it's so much better at picking what it thinks I will like than Spotify.
Yeah.
And this other day, like, it just like it popped up, like it popped in at like a random Dolly Parton. Dude, she's so talented.
Yeah.
Her music's so good.
She's
all
great.
right, well, let's move to the next one here. The shrill is gone. AOL to shut down dial-up internet.
Oh.
The ear-piercing beeps, squeals, and buzzes of 90s era dial-up internet will vanish from thousands of holdout American homes in September as historic provider AOL shuts down the service. Okay, hang on. There were still thousands of people who were
using
doing dial-up.
That's really
Dial-up.
the news to me is that, like, people are still using dial-up in 2025.
Like, is it just to check your email?
It's gotta be.
There's not
no way
much
they're
you
using.
could do. The fact that AOL is still a thing blows
Also
my mind.
shocking. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, did you ever have it? Did you ever do it through AOL?
Yeah, we had AOL. That was like my first big internet thing.
Was it like its own internet? Like, what was the deal with AOL for a while?
Well, so it was a software you installed on your computer, and it was basically like running itself as a browser. But then you could go and use Internet Explorer if you weren't a boomer.
Okay, yeah, because I remember they used to like have those like discs. People would, you found a sound. Here's the sound effect.
Kind of like that old sound, right?
You know, it's funny. Like, it brings me back.
Yeah. When getting on the internet was a chore. Like you went to the computer, you sat down, you open up America Online or whatever your dialer was. It dials that little thing. You hear that sound, and then it's like, Dan, you get that shh, and you're like, I am now on the internet.
Yeah,
I go into IRC and chat with your buds, or
it was. I remember when the internet was a thing I could only do at school, and then I remember my dad worked it out with his work that they got it so he could check his work from home. Like, hey, please put the shackles on me. like what a trade-off. But like, we got a modem. We were able to use it. I remember using, it was a lot on Yahoo back in the day. I remember like chat rooms, and I remember that they had a phone line installed dedicated for it, but it also ran through my sister's room. So if my sister wanted to use her phone, she would interrupt your call, like interrupt your internet, and it would mess things up. So that was frustrating. I remember. If you're downloading a photo of Sonny from the WWF, and it took like forever for like the photos to load. I remember South Park. I remember like we didn't get South Park up north until way later. So I would be able to find like through like Real Video or whatever, you could get like South Park videos, like clips. And so we only knew about them through clips. But yeah, it is a little sad that apparently that's going away, but is it though? I mean, it's sort of sad, sort of not sad. Like, there's certain technologies that we don't need to pine for too much.
Oh yeah, like now in hindsight, the first, probably would be better to go back in time and kill Alexander Graham Bell.
For the phone at all?
Take it, right out at the source. The man was not meant to be this interconnected.
All right, last one. Why, and I gotta pronounce this right, Niger, is investigating the $5 million sale of the largest Mars rock found on Earth. I'm calling shenanigans. This is it's the largest piece of Mars ever found on Earth, a 54-pound, 25-kilogram meteorite that fetched more than $5 million at a New York auction last month, money laundering, setting another world record. But in the West African nation of Niger, where the rusty red rock was unearthed in the Sahara Desert, officials have launched an investigation into what they call possibly illicit international trafficking, claiming it may have been smuggled out of the country. Here's what to know about the meteorite and the legal dispute. Before I get into that, fuck them. You don't know it's from Mars. Get bent. What are you talking about?
I think, they like carbon test it and stuff.
From what? Against what?
Against the ones we went and got with probes. And
Sure
also you can use spectrum analysis to figure out what the shit up.
They're like,
Mars is
clearly this is Mars. This is clearly from that dot in the sky we look at. Clearly, $5 million. They're that certain about this?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I took an astronomy class. They explained it to us. I don't remember any of it because it was in college.
I took an economics class. They also explained fucking Keynesian economics. That doesn't mean that it's real. You know, like it's Sotheby's said the rock named NWA.
Yeah.
Right out of
that's a good rock name.
NWA 16788 was blown off the surface of Mars by a massive asteroid strike and traveled 140 million miles. That's 225 million kilometers. Fucking bullshit. 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 No way.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Not buying it.
No, what probably happened was the aliens were harvesting shit from Mars.
Dude, they haven't gotten
Egyptians.
They didn't get a rover back. They're stuck there. What are you comparing it against?
They have ones that land and come back.
They do.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah, to take samples of shit.
They just like this lander that like sometimes gets stuck on a rock, gets its propulsion things, clears the atmosphere of Mars, gets back onto another thing that goes then back all the way to Earth and brings us back rocks that we can look at and go, is this just like that thing that we found in Niger? Yeah. That's the official story.
That and spectral analysis.
Don't buy it. You don't like Raising Arizona, and I don't buy into Mars bullshit.
Look, we all saw Capricorn 1.
That's true. This is serious business. So,
yeah.
All right, that's the story.
Well, this has been the Reparations News Network, giving you back the news that you were owed. 40 stories and a drug mule. I don't have any more jokes. And that takes care of our news segment this week. But you know what it doesn't take care of?
Reconciliation of past wrongs.
And if you want to help reconcile past wrongs, you can visit us at patreon.com/HWIDG, which stands for
Here's What I Don't Reconcile,
which is almost the name of the show. And over there we have 2 tiers. We have the $1 tier, which gets you a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling of non-toxic empathy for supporting the show. And then we have our $5 tier where we throw some bonus episodes. Here's what I do get. I think we talked about doing it last week after the show, or maybe it was on the show, doing a commentary of Toy Story. Was that what we said we wanted to do?
Maybe Toy Story. Was it Toy Story?
I don't remember. We were talking about a movie after the show, and it was like let's do.
Yeah, we got to do something. I don't know if it was Toy Story. Maybe it was. It'll come back to us.
Yeah. So we might have something like that coming out soon, depending on schedules. But yeah, thank you to all our patrons, big and small, and everyone.
It was A Bug's Life.
A Bug's Life. That's what it was.
Yeah.
All our patrons, big and small, for supporting the show. Past, present, future. You've helped keep it going for almost 8 years. We're coming up on 8 years of Here's What I Don't Get, which is pretty
too many
wild.
years. Yeah,
No,
that's
sorry.
2 presidencies.
It's 9 years. 9 years because the show launched in 2016.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do math.
Two whole presidencies and onto a third.
On to a third.
Have you seen these videos of this like jeweler, this jeweler in New York who like says to like customers, like, I'll knock 10% off the price if you can answer this question or this riddle? And it was like the 45th president of the United States and the 47th president of the United States have the same parents. How is that possible? And like the amount of people who can't answer it. And they're like, I know. It's because the doctor was his mother. It's like bullshit like that. Like they don't know.
It's like Jimmy Kimmel and Jay Leno and all them. They used to do the thing where they'd walk out on the street and ask people stupid questions and the dumb responses. That really should have been a sign that universal voting was a huge mistake.
Yeah. And yet here we are, and the jeweler still makes his sale, and he gets free advertising because of the viral video of it.
Yep.
All right. Well, what do you want to bring in?
Well, here's what I don't get. Theater kids. Hate them.
How many have you had to deal? Like, how many generations of theater kids have you had to deal with so far?
Oh, man, I don't know. So, I mean, obviously there's my own generation, and then I've definitely dealt with like Boomer and Gen X theater kids, and even now dealing with Gen Z theater kids. So, but yeah, there's a lot of discourse going on the internet about how we like gave our society over to theater kids and it's ruined everything, and it absolutely has. When I'm looking at what I think are kind of the problems that are making the world a toxic place, performative empathy, toxic empathy,
Pedro Pascal,
Justin Trudeau, big theater.
Yeah, kid. He's a theater kid too. Yeah. Well, it's like when Rachel Zegler was running her mouth, and everyone's like, "Can you believe this?" And it's like, yes, because she's a theater kid.
Yeah. They get off on attention, good and bad. They like the feeling of being paid attention to, and they also like importance, which is why going back to you talking about traditions, for generations in even colonial America, being an actor was considered like a pathetic vocation that was worthy of scorn.
Yeah, it was garbage.
And then I don't know. I guess probably like in the 30s, we started to have movie stars, and it started to be like, what's going on with that? And then we've raised them to this venerated level,
where they think that they can shift an election.
Yeah, that like people will be like, I can't believe that Madonna and whomever else and Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris, and she still didn't win. It's like, yeah, because we don't like as a society for hundreds of generations, we thought that actors were all worthless because what theater kids are professional liars. That's what they do. That's what they do well. And it's also, so I remember, and I will also like to caveat this and say, I am not a theater kid. I have worked in theaters my entire life, but I was not one of those, and I might have been when I was a very young kid, but by the time I like decided that I wanted to do it as a profession, my mindset had changed, and the quest for attention and the quest for validation was gone. It was like, I like solving the problems. I like doing the engineering. I like fiddling and confronting the issue and getting it done. Theater kids like to kind of skirt around and see like how much they can milk out of a thing before they move on. That's why comedy is terrible now, because like you have something like Ghostbusters 2016 where everybody wants to like tell the joke. That's why The Naked Gun was so good, was that nobody was like Jimmy Falloning it to the camera. Oh, I'm so funny. And the entire movie it was very earnest. It was very enjoyable. But
are you talking about the new one?
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah, I heard it's really good too. Yeah.
Yeah. And so as we like started rewarding people for like this, doing, having the right thoughts or voicing, being the mouthpiece of the right thing. And even actors whose roles I really enjoy, like Patrick Stewart is such a fucking insufferable tool, because he is like, yeah, Captain Picard's a great character. He's a great role model, but you're not Captain Picard.
You didn't write his lines.
Yeah.
You didn't write his sequences.
A team of people created the character. You were the performance. You're the mouthpiece. You're the face. But like, you didn't come up with all of the details that created the depth of character that made him worthy of looking up to. And
you might have finessed them a bit. You might have added a little bit here and there.
No, like, he definitely put stuff into the mix, but it takes a lot more than that.
True, because he was a talented actor. He still is, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. Same with Ian McKellen.
Yes,
right. And actually, one of the things that like during COVID, the Imagine, that was like peak. Like, people weren't having it at that point in time, and actually, it was funny to watch all these theater kids lose their shit when they couldn't leave to go anywhere because they needed that attention. They needed it, and they weren't getting it, and they were losing their minds over this. Like, Ellen was falling apart.
Well, and even on a smaller scale, actors that I knew were like posting some of the most deranged shit on the internet that I've ever seen. Just like girls getting dressed up in lingerie to post on their Instagram that had never posted like that before, just to, I got to get something out of this because I don't get to go up and perform on stage like I normally do. So when I was in college, it was like my last year, and we had to take a class called Pro Prep. And I might have told the story before, but I'm gonna tell it again. But so it was basically like, it was working on interview skills and resumes and portfolios, and the final for the class was they brought in someone, and you did like a fake interview, a fake portfolio review. They went through all your stuff. You dressed like you would to go to an interview, and they gave you feedback on like the entire presentation that from the way you're dressed to the stuff that's in your book to how you like handle the questions. And it was a good class. And so at one point the director of the School of Drama was in our class, and he's like, all your students know, right, that they're probably going to have to be like wait tables or find another job somewhere in order to get, if they want to do this. And John, who I hated, who was the director of the technical part of the school, was like, no, all of my students get jobs in the field, which isn't entirely true, but it was a lot more true. Like the actors of the ones that I know about from my graduating class, I think one of them is still acting. So they have these schools, colleges will let you get a theater degree, and the college that I went to,
money.
It was a top 10. It was a top. And we do have a lot of successful designers that are out still working in the industry, but a lot of the actors went out and became HR reps, salespeople,
pharmaceutical reps. Yeah.
I've seen several of them getting into politics or like AI. It turns out that I know the CEO of Blue Sky, which is fucking crazy.
Wow.
Tim and I both know the CEO of Blue Sky. And the name that is on her LinkedIn is not the name that we knew her by. So it's just like, and so what ends up happening is you end up creating these corporations and companies and politicians or lobbyists whose whole character, like their formative years, were built around the idea that they were going to be a pretend person and famous, and they were going to make their mark. And the world never like newspaper batted them in the nose and be like, yeah, you're not going to make your mark. And really, like, is acting even something that you need a college degree to be able to do?
Shouldn't.
which is, part of this whole inflate and or they go and they become administrators for colleges and then tell you about how, or they become teachers in primary school. And so what it's done is it's saturated the world with this veneer of, I think this is where a lot of the low trust comes from, is you have people who are professional pretend people trying to mask the fact that, so I talked about it a lot in a lot of different ways: bullshit jobs, face, a lot of different ways where our culture has come to venerate lying. The more dishonest you be, the more I get praised for how well I can mask my autism. And it's to an extent, yeah, that's good. People should try and act normal, but also you should just kind of be okay with the fact that sometimes I'm not 100% normal, because we're all just a little bit fucking different.
Mm-hmm.
But theater kids are really good at masking all the time, and they hide all of that self-loathing and delusion that actually fuels them, as I know, having fucking talked to them for many years. And then they go out in the world and they take their self-loathing out onto others, and they
project it on others, as if everybody else hates themselves.
Yeah, to say that, and it's little things, very subversive things, like they didn't get along with their parents, so they don't believe in a society where parenthood is good, and they believe that parents are inherently bad, and you end up creating a system where we now mom and dad both have to work, which drops your ability to start a family, and then you end up with both parents working. So 2 incomes. What's the kid going to do? Well, they have to go to school full time and childcare for the rest of the time until we can both get home. On the weekends, you're tired from both you being at work. You're eating shit food. And it's built up this cultural resentment that all comes from Dr. Spock's fucking self-loathing of parents, and being like, yeah, you gotta send your kids, get your kid into school as quickly as possible. I see these videos of 2 years old in daycare all day. It's just fucking strangers, and it's look how happy the kid is that mommy came and picked her back up. And I'm just man. And even my generation, this wasn't a thing, but this is the way my mom grew up, was that her mom was home, and for some reason she resents her for being there and cooking dinners and
why
lunches. I don't know, because women hate their moms.
Not all of them. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Because my best years were when my mom was at home, during the day. When we had somebody else come and watch us at different times, it was not as good. It was clearly not as good. And you do love it when your parents come home.
Yeah,
you do. That sucks. But that is the case, that a lot of these people are growing up in those things, and it's for my money, it's the projection. It's a projection, because they also lack the empathy to understand that your situation is not everybody else's situation.
Well, I think that there's I think that one of the secrets to being a great actor is kind of being a hollow person and
being filled up by the character.
So
you don't have
there's
anything to push
a
away.
Really great documentary, Jim and Andy, about the making of Man on the Moon. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
It came out on Netflix. I don't know, quite a while ago. But in it,
it's he was really that one kind of broke him, didn't it?
Yeah, Jim Carrey, basically, the thing opens up with him. He was sitting on a beach, and he basically claims that Andy Kaufman's soul inhabited his body while they filmed this movie. How much of that I believe or don't or disbelieve? I do believe that it's easier for a more empty person to change who they are and thus disappear into a role more so. I wonder about even a megastar like Tom Cruise, how much internal monologue is there, and how much of this jumping on and off of planes and jumping motorcycles off of mountains and climbing along on railway cars is just you trying to find humanity inside yourself again.
Well, it's I noticed so they're not the same, but they're adjacent is the wrestling world.
Yeah.
So like a lot of these wrestlers, some of them are cool, some of them are very well-rounded people, but then other ones like are needy and like insecure and like in a lot of ways like a male anorexic without being a male anorexic. Like they're so self-conscious about their body and how they look and like compared to their peers. And I get it because it's very physically, it's aesthetics matter in it. But one of the things that used to always like get me was, and I've said this before, when you're in the back, it's funny to me how many baby faces are in the ring are heels in the back,
Yeah.
and vice versa. How many of the heels out there are actually baby faces in the back? And I think part of it is also because the heels, you're not trying to please people. It's a lot easier. You're trying to make people hate you. And it's a lot easier to do than to actually make somebody like you. And so with these people that like are the baby faces, they are trying so hard to get, if the people don't like you enough, then you don't like you. And then it's like this weird value that you have towards it. And it's like, in a lot of ways, there's a theology attachment to it. It's a disordered attachment to the esteem of your fellow man, right? Like you shouldn't care so much about what other people think about you, especially people who've only seen you for a few minutes or a few, or an hour on a movie or something like that. Like I get it that that's like your level of success for your career is going to hinge on that, but like you need to be more like. That's why it's easy to like a guy like Keanu Reeves when you learn more about what they're like outside of the workplace. Like, they can be grumpy at certain points, but it's like, no, he's a dude. And it's like, and like in wrestling, it's like you can tell the ones that are insecure. Like, look at The Rock.
Yeah.
Like, look at The Rock. The Rock should be super secure in himself. He's been to the mountaintop. He's been at one point in time the highest paid actor in Hollywood. He's headlined how many different WrestleManias? Like he should be super secure in and of himself, but he's not. He's totally needy. If you look at his social media, he's totally kiss assy. He's totally insecure, and it's pathetic.
Yeah.
Right. It's absolutely pathetic. And he's not even a theater kid. He's a ring kid, and
he
came into the business and people hated him.
Well, I don't even, I want to make it clear. I don't believe you have to go to school to get a theater degree and then become an HR lady to be a theater kid. I think that like those theater kids exist and maybe they find that they don't, that's not the path they're going to take early on, but they still like have those tendencies.
They still have that makeup.
Yeah. And I think it's extremely common in the theater industry on both sides, design and performance, is that level of it's almost like a sociopathy. And specifically it's the performative, the performative nature of what are supposed to be good acts, right? Like I don't believe that when someone goes and post themselves on Instagram serving in a soup kitchen, like I don't believe that means anything, as opposed to, if you know a guy and it's like, and then you find out, oh yeah, every Saturday he goes down and serves at the soup kitchen, you'd be like, whoa, really? When it doesn't say anything about that. Like that's an actually good person.
I can only see posting it if it's like, Kate, you've been doing it for years. Right now you're lacking in the volunteers. You need some people to come and help. Like there's a difference there. Yes. But if it's along the lines of like, look at me, right? Look at me. But it's like, it's funny too. Cause like you mentioned that it's like good acts and stuff. It's like, weddings. This is where theater kids come out in droves, whether they're the maid of honor or the best man and need to make a big show of their speech, or when you do the You know those like wedding things where it's like if you clink a glass and you have to like, I don't know, sing a song or something to like get the, there's like a rule attached to it for the kid, for the kissing thing. That's when the theater kids are like in their element. Cause that's when they're like, finally, yeah, see, I get to perform and I get to one up and do all this kind of thing. But like I've seen these before where like the not sometimes it's the bride or the groom, but it's like when it's like one of the like groomsmen or one of the bridesmaids and they make it all about themselves.
Yeah.
Typically that's somebody that's been a theater kid or theater kid adjacent.
I've known Sarah for so long and I've just been so happy to see her with this person. And blah. It's like, wow, could you talk a little bit more about yourself in this speech
Yeah,
there?
putting yourself into it all the time.
Yeah. Another great example of this is I saw I've seen a really interesting turn on about Mr. Beast this week.
Oh,
and
what about it?
Well, so like one, I don't understand how he became famous. Like it feels very manufactured. But someone pointed out that
it's an untrustworthy face.
If you cover up the top or bottom half of his face.
Oh yeah, that's like his type of smile. Yeah,
he's always got this plastered on smile, and then he actually got into a fight with a guy and was like, "This was after like hours of recording and photoing, you know." And I just looked and think, no, it's every single fucking photo of you. You have this fake smile. It's almost like when I do the Mad Cucks things, I would sign off and I would like make my eyes really widely big and smile as widely uncomfortably as I could.
Yeah, as manufactured as you can.
Yeah, very like off-putting. And it's like his smile is like that, and the fact that it's never hit his eyes. Like I have never seen an image of him with his eyes like actually alive. And then
he's suing the guy. He's suing him.
Yeah, that's wild. You know, that it's very performative. Oh, we're doing a thing where we're gonna give water to Africa, and it's like one, I don't believe that that's where the money goes at all. I believe that if I gave you $1 to get water to Africa, maybe top end a nickel gets to Africa.
Gets to it. Yeah, it's gonna get eaten up by something else. Yeah.
Yeah. And let alone millions of dollars. Whereas there are, I think that there are something like 1,000 charities for homelessness in San Francisco alone.
Yeah, but they don't help there.
Well, they don't. they don't. But it's like this money could actually be used for your own countrymen in a way that might actually benefit someone and not be performative. But all of his things.
But how's that going to work with the YouTube algorithms tab?
Exactly, because the algorithm is based around theater kids, and they want to feel good about propping up, you know, blacks and browns people across the world who are unfortunate and don't have good water, and we need to send them Tom's shoes and like theater kids, Tom's shoes. I remember the first time I heard about Tom's shoes, and I was like, yeah, so I bought this dog shit pair of shoes for $80, and they send a dog shit pair of shoes over to Africa. And I was like, well, can you just get both pairs of shoes and donate them to someone yourself? And like, no. And I was like, I don't think those shoes are going to Africa. I think this whole thing's a fucking scam. But it's also, you get this performative thing of being like, oh, you're wearing the donate shoes to African charity shoes. You must be so caring.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're so virtuous.
It's like, oh, you know, you got to wear the ribbon. I don't wear the ribbon. Like, oh, I'm walking, aren't I? You know, no, we all have to wear the ribbon. We all have to like put our
must wear the ribbon. Yeah.
Who does not want to wear the ribbon? It's good work should be private. They should be between you and your own conscience or God or whomever, and they shouldn't.
That's what God said.
Yeah,
that's what God said.
Yeah. Be about putting it out into the world so that you can get good boy points. But that's what theater kids do, is they want to get their good boy points. They want to virtue signal. They want to.
The Pharisees were the original theater kids.
Yeah, they want to, you know, have an equal outcome because, you know, they suck as an actor, but they want to be Tom Cruise. And they want to be a billionaire. Like there are so many things. There are so many like nasty, horrific things about theater kids that like just they're bad people. They're bad people, and I have met very few that I would actually be friends with over the years. And the ones that I am friends with are all have a genuineness that the ones that I'm not friends with don't have.
So there are some. There are some. It's a hashtag, not all in there somewhere, but yeah, not many.
Yeah,
and it's fostered right even from high school, dude. Like the high school theater kids, they're a thing. Like
I think they absolutely are. And I also think social media has bred it kind of into us to, only post the good, compare yourself to the, you're comparing your worst day to all of your friends on social media is like groomed and
well, clout too. Like clout's hurt the cause, and then you got the algorithms of like YouTube and like these influencers that are failed theater kids that like.
That's a whole industry that I don't understand how it works. Like I post on Instagram that I like an ad. I'm just a human ad, and people look at this and go like, "Oh yeah, I want to try human ad." Like no,
what about
I don't care that you went to a restaurant. Is the food good and are the prices good? Maybe I'll check it out. Is it near my house? Maybe I'll check it out. Am I going to?
They also got it for free, so how do you know that it's an honest take?
At the Glass Studio, a bunch of them showed up and they wanted all this fucking shit, and I was like, "What is this going to get us?" And they're like, "Well, they're influencers. They posted a couple posts about being at the Third Friday, and that was it. That was the end. Did
you even see a bump?
I was curious about that. Was there a bump? Like, what was the point of all this?
Like we get a little bit of a bump. There's some influencers that come to our shows, and we're not going to turn them away, especially when we have competition. But I always wonder. I'm like, does it make a bump on social media, or does it make a bump in the house? Because I want to know if it makes a bump in the house. If it makes a bump in the house, bring every freaking influencer you got. But if it's only a bump on social media, I don't give a crap. The social media is supposed to be a bump in the house. If it's not working that way, then change your output, change your strategy.
All fake and gay. Anyway,
good issue, man.
Thank you.
Good issue. Yeah,
I hate them. I hate them all. In the second Civil War, we're going to put them into camps.
Yeah. Well, I see one brewing up in Canada, man, and maybe there's one brewing where you're at. I wonder sometimes, like, can I get back into the country if I made that, earlier, like the critique on reconciliation? Like, did you know they're making it illegal to question the like quote unquote mass graves that turned out to be tree roots?
The mass graves that don't exist. And
not a single body. Yeah. Not a single body has been uncovered, but it's illegal to question it. Yeah, that's fine.
This is going to be in,
not officially yet, but it's going to be
500 years if humanity still exists, and they're going to study this time and be like, this is fascinating shit. These people all turned on themselves.
And it's like you had AI and you had these abilities to do things and you didn't do anything good with it. Like you just screwed it up.
We need to put every episode of this show like into a secure digital cloud vault that's just like out in space. We end up being the logs, like in the Fallout future. They're listening to this. They're like, these fucking theater kids are what ruined it. He finally solved it. Like I'm listening to the show now. I'm on episode 140 or 141.
Yeah.
And I was listening to myself a couple episodes ago. I don't remember what I was talking about now off the top of my head, but it's the first time, honestly, the first time in listening to the show that I was like, oh, he doesn't get it because he's still young and naive. and it's like, I'm learning and growing.
It's your time capsule too, though.
Yeah.
It's your time capsule. Yeah. No, good issue. Shall we
wrap it up?
Chaco's allowed. Yeah, shall we wrap it up?
Yep, let's do it. Well, this has been Here's What I Don't Get. I'm Tab Burt.
I'm El Chaco.
We'll catch you guys next time.
Ciao, ciao.
If you want to call into the Here's What I Don't Get hotline, call us at 704-750-9434 and tell us what you don't get. Or you can visit us on the Discord under voicemail upload, which we have some there that I apparently missed the last time we did an episode. So I am going to play those now. It doesn't look like there's any on the voicemail hotline.
Okay.
But there is this one. Quidge voicemail upload.
From the Discord?
Or yeah. All right, here we go.
And all right, what do you call it when you're stuck behind someone going 10 miles under the limit? This happens here in Texas. Nobody goes the speed limit. It's either 20 above or 20 below. So you're stuck behind the ladder going 20 below, and you're getting ready to pass him in the only other lane. And you know that you just have to wait for this white truck in the left lane to pass you first, and then you can get behind that white truck and pass this old lady in front of you. But before that white truck can pass you, he also has to pass the asshole behind you, who promptly takes his opportunity to blow into the other lane, practically accelerating into your own back bumper. In so doing, so there's no hope of actually taking your turn. And then everybody behind him follows him, and now you've got to wait for the entire entourage of cars behind you to pass the pace car before you can. That's what I don't get.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, that is the worst.
Well, okay, so like, down here, left lane, right lane etiquette is not a
non-existent.
Thing. Yeah, non-existent. So you'll be in the left lane trying to go your speed, and you run into Slowbie in the left lane. You're like, get the fuck into the right lane, but they won't. So you're like, I gotta go and pass them on the right, and I hate passing on the right. But then the right is also Slowbie, and it's like, if you just get over there behind that guy, because I can't get around you both, and then like they'll like block for forever, and then you get this thing where you're like waiting for the broken line so you can make a pass, and it's like it's just like that, like with the other guy. Like what'll happen is you have to get super aggressive when you're going to make that pass, because I'll wait for the broken line, and then there's oncoming traffic. I got to wait until that oncoming traffic gets past just me, because I know if there's a guy in my hip pocket, like
he's going to come out.
He's going to come out and do it as soon as possible. So what I have to do is I have to wait for that one oncoming car to come by, and as soon as they are past me, I'm into that lane before the other guy behind me can get into that lane, because that car's still there, and then you get around. Like you have to do it super strategic. But like in the caller's case, like that one's a little bit more tricky too, because you're dealing with, as you know, somebody who's coming up like real fast I hate that. I just wish people would either go the speed limit or let you go by. But like, like here, there's this weird thing they do down here, which is as soon as you're behind somebody who's going slow, as soon as you start to pass them, either they're indignant or they're like, oh crap, I guess I was going too slow. And they speed up. So it takes like twice as long or 3 times as long to pass them.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then there's oncoming traffic. I calculated it in my head. You didn't. Let me go by you. And it drives me crazy. I hate that.
Yeah. I would just want to set my cruise control where it goes and then go and pass people. I hate when I accidentally get boxed in. The converse of that, though, that I really hate is when you've got like, 10 cars in a row. We're all going to pass this semi truck. And this guy comes up in the right lane and then forces himself over. as opposed to waiting in line. It's like, yeah, you're kind of a huge prick. But I also, at the same time, I have done that because I've the last time I drove to Tulsa, got behind a guy in a white pickup truck who was going, he was like just barely passing the semis in the right lane. And so I was like the third car back, and I finally got past this semi, and it was just big enough, and I popped in the right lane, passed all three of those guys, and slammed over, because it's like, I just want to go the speed that I'm fucking going. I don't want to go
I hate stoppy starty. That's what I hate. Like, I hate stoppy starty so much. Like, when you have to, like, I shouldn't have to hit the brakes on the highway. That's how much I hate changing speeds. I don't need to be going 100 I don't need to be going like ridiculously fast. I just need to be able to comfortably go without having to worry about stopping and starting. And you're not going to get one.
Oh,
nope.
wow.
Nope.
Pulling his Patreon
Denial.
right now.
Denial.
Let me know if you can still hear this.
All right, here's what else I don't get. People who think that my turn signal means that I'm nicely asking permission to not hit the fucking concrete barrier at the end of this on-ramp that I'm currently on. Buddy, you're a softer target. I'm going to merge into you.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Cap and Carl. The CPAP update is that before I came and did the show, because I know my wife's going to be asleep, I cleaned it, I refilled it, so I got a clean, refilled CPAP machine waiting for me after the show. There's your update.
CPAP.
I might have to download that and put that in the.
That might be a thing.
Yeah. Play it on the show.
You should have that be like that should be the notification signal when I send you. Yeah, when I send you a text.
That would be
CPAP.
One last one here from Mr. Steen.
Like, I'm trying to be nice and accelerate here so that I don't pull out in front of somebody going 50 while they're going 70. I'm trying to accelerate to freeway speed. I know nobody does that down here. They just do whatever. Not insured anyway, so they don't care, most of them. But, I'm trying to be nice. But that also means I'm kind of fucked if you don't let me in. So go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Other drivers, man.
I wish that everybody was a considerate driver. It would make the world a much better place if you were like, I should go faster so that this person can do their thing, or I should go slower, or maybe I should wait until that person goes by before I enter the lane or do something but nobody does it.
It's one of the, I've seen a bunch of stuff where people are like, speeding doesn't actually get you anywhere faster. Like, you're going 5 miles an hour faster, so you get there in like 15 seconds faster than you would have. I'm like, that's literally the definition of it getting you where you're going faster. It's my 15 seconds. I don't want to spend it in the car. And it's one of these weird things where, yes, it's illegal to speed. It's what you're doing is legal. Driving the speed limit in the left lane is a legal thing to do. You're fully legally within your rights.
Yep.
Morally, you're being a huge asshole, and just like fucking try and drive as a team and show some consideration for your fellow man. If this guy wants to go fucking 95 miles an hour through a school zone, do you really want him directly behind you, or do you want him on down the road so when he fucking loses control into a fireball, you can pass him and be like, ha, there's that moron.
Well, it's also like it's the consideration thing, but also like I hate people going below the speed limit more than above the speed limit.
Yeah.
And then going back to that whole calculation thing, it's like, yeah, you're right, but sometimes I take aesthetics into my trips as well. Sometimes I don't like being behind a giant truck for the entire trip. Sometimes I just like to get around them just so I don't have to look at a truck ass. You know what I mean? Like I sometimes I just want better scenery.
Yeah. It's
That's
also
it.
like, sure, going 5 extra miles an hour on your daily commute maybe saves you 30 seconds each day, but
No, but on a
that's 2 minutes.
5-hour trip, like
Yeah,
it makes a big difference.
2 minutes on you get 2 extra minutes on Friday when you get home. Those are your minutes. And but then, yeah, like you're going a long distance. It's I can shave basically 45 minutes off the drive to Tulsa, but
Absolutely.
just by staying 5 over the speed limit.
You can. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of those pricky things to like. Actually, like actually, you're not saving that much, and you're doing it. You're ruining the environment, and you do it too. And meh. I hate that.
Yeah.
Is that it for our Hotmail?
That's
Or hotline?
that's our voicemail. That's what we
All
got.
right. You're welcome, Captain Carl. That's all right then. Well, I'm glad you found some ungotten to messages that we didn't have to end it on that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
I must have not I must have not made a note that they were there. So sorry about
Okay.
not playing those last week.
Good to go. It worked out in the end.
Yeah. So catch you guys next time.
God bless everyone. Ciao, ciao.
How do I do this?